Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 3, Episode 8. And with it, the Cultural Festival. If we're not actually getting to the Cultural Festival itself, at the very least, our characters will still be preparing for the Devoted Hearts Cultural Festival at Shujin Gakuen. A beautiful, beautiful celebration filled with fun and food and classes doing their own things and intrigue and romance and mystery and murder and fun and apple pie and okonomiyaki and laser battles and takoyaki and all sorts of noodles and cafes and maid cafes and haunted houses and live ghosts and real ghosts and not so haunted houses and games to be played and arcade games to be played and classes showing off their different things and festival activities and probably there are always like some bands who play and murders and probably I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep. Yep. Okay. Nope, I'm very sorry. No, I'm very, very sorry. Won't happen again. Absolutely. Yep. Totally understood. Will not happen again. Mm-hmm. 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 Emphatically, yes. Nope. No need to call back. Nope, totally. Will not happen again. Goodbye. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so we gotta scrap all the parts where I said murder before. Those can't go in the video. No murder during the festival. There's not gonna be any death or destruction. Our characters are not gonna get killing each other. There's not gonna be a murder mystery. There's no death. Darn. Dang it. Well, anyway, it should still be a fun festival. There should be plenty to prepare for, and given that our romantically involved characters are involved in the production of a romantic festival, there's a lot of opportunity for fun shit to go down. It already has a bunch. We had a bunch of honestly very cute stuff about Miko Ino and her desire to have a bonfire sparked by nostalgic memories of her own, and pushing through it against people's unwillingness to follow along until she showed them a clear path, a way forward, and really did blaze that trail for herself and blaze the trail because it's a bonfire. Really did blaze that trail for herself and make it possible, and that's pretty cool. Miko Ino with a little bit of dedication is a strong, persistent motherfucker, and she made it happen. Our president can't blow up balloons to save his life, but Chica has unwillingly been roped into helping him, and so he's figured it out. I really like the section that we did where we, I think, reintroduced the reporter duo who went around and interviewed a bunch of our characters, including Kaguya and the Prez. Got some interesting, intriguing murder. Sorry, from the president, some secretive statements, and got some very cool things from Kaguya because those characters that she's a goddess among goddesses, and so they ended up being a funny interaction. The festival's shaping up to be a really good time. I'm excited to see what happens as we move closer to it at the very least. I don't know if we're going to do any like scouting to other schools, what kind of weird things we'll end up involved in because of the festival, whether we'll have non-festival bits as we go, or if everything will be wrapped up and focused on this arc. I don't really know. I don't really care. I'm happy with the way that the show is progressing. It's been pretty good. We had some very cute moments between Kaguya and the Prez last episode. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I hope both for romantic developments and humorous developments, and if we get some level of balance of those, I'm going to be utterly pleased by this episode of Kaguya. I am going to play the game. I'm going to play it slightly differently, so given that cultural festivals that explode into rampant laser battles and mecha fights is a one forte of this show, Code Geass, I will say that if I win, I get to put up this beautiful C2 reaching out to you, because she's C2 cute. And I'll put that up if I win, and if I lose, I will get the Saitama okay. And that'll be if I lose. So I'm gonna put my money on Miyuki Shirogane. I'm gonna put it on the Prez this time. I feel like it's got a good shot. I feel like the Prez has been looking pretty strong in these episodes. Even when he's been losing, he's been winning in some sense. And we've been getting strength out of his weakness in a real true way. So I'm going to put my money in terms of stickers on the president. And we'll have to see if that ends up coming to bear. Episode 8, Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Season 3. I'm ready. You ready? I hope you're ready. I hope you're having a great week so far. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Tuesdays are Tuesdays. Feels good to be alive. Being is shaping up to feel much better, and that's pretty good. So here we go for Kaguya-sama, a show that is definitely a fun way to spend a little bit of time, and probably is going to improve my day by a leap and maybe even a bound. All right, episode 8 up and ready to go. 2 versions, picture-in-picture with the video up there, linked in the description. Timer on YouTube, beep timer to count down, early access on Patreon. Let's go. We haven't met that guy, have we? Grrr. All right. Tohu. Wabohu. Oh, hi, Kei-chan. We're at home. Uh-oh. If I said Shiro... No, I said Miyuki. Damn. What if Kei wins? Damn. Oh, we will do scouting. What a pain. Eh? A reputation. Oh, it's very... There's a little gnat in here. Dang. Show me first. Just because. I guess I'll wear this. Got him. Nailed it. Uh-oh. Total... You spin me, right? Fucking around. What? Oh, it'll fit in. Why will it not come off? Yeah. Yeah, it's one shirt. I hate those. I hate those so much. They can't. They're attached. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. What are those? And the sleeves. Oh, were you that tall in middle school? That makes sense. Ryuk. It's so it's so useful. Oh no. This is not an improvement. This is not an improvement. Because the other way looks dorky. I wouldn't use him as a reference, man. I agree. I have returned just to be harmed by you. Ow. I love the father. It's true though. You gonna guilt trip it? Ooh. Yeah. Well, don't we all? No. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. There's nothing to be done. I will show you the secret. Oh. Oh. Holy shit. What the fuck? Okay, it's the same model. Okay. How about some shirts that match? A legendary item passed down by my dad. What the hell? What? That's nothing. Yeah, that's very odd. Honto shikatanai. Oh, and he wraps up the apron and goes for himself. Dude, he's gonna like try on all his clothes or something weird. Hey, we made it. Hey, the Flippy Whippy. They watched some YouTube videos. Do the Flippy Whippy. Get the fuck out. Oh, uh-oh. I saw those faces in the background. Uh-oh. There are middle school girls who are enamored of you. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, that's the sister. Do you? Oh. Yeah, do you? He sucks. So like a good big brother. Oh, aw, uh-oh. Oh, Manju. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's pretty serious. Story time. Oh. Hey. Yikes. Okay, yeah, cool. Go with this. Yum heart charcoal? Yes, you do, Cog. Alright, here we go. I didn't see what the title of this episode was, or this portion. Very realisto. Mm-hmm. There we go. Uh-oh. That gets you? Wouldn't you know it? Oh, interesting. No. No. Not how statistics work, but... Shit. Having the president give me one of these? Fuck you, Kaguya. What she said was she confessed to him. But I cannot. Yeah. Would never. Oh, it's the whole plot. I know. Really, really, you do want this? Yeah? By fate? Where the fuck are we? Then it'll be a confession. なるほど、なるほど。Yeah, this is what would happen. All the mannequins. Yeah, it's a hard fact. So that it's completely and utterly hidden. He won't realize at all. Oh, right. Yep. Maybe just confess. Because you are. You are the biggest fool, Kaguya. But everyone's a fool for love. This kind of reminds me of like the mini Kaguya sequence. Kapuova. Just like with the clothing, I'll sacrifice so that others can have. Aww. Aww. Aww, you love him so much, Kaguya. Hmm. These manga inserts have been nice. And I refuse, because I have to do it. A bunch of dots, but one of them is a heart. Just get it manufactured. Oh, she knows. Are you sure you want to do that? Hey! Yo! Admission of guilt to. Hmm. Love and pride are antitheses. Okay, yeah, no, I like it. Ah, ooh, ah, ah, magica, indeed. Wow, wow. Oh, what are we doing? What are we doing? The new jacket that he got. The moon. The moon watch. We do have all that stuff about going to the moon and the ED and the legend and all that. Oh my god. I don't know. Probably it would be accepted, my girl. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Cuz you're a cuz loses. Whoa. It's not like that. Yeah, completely. Kaguya wants to confess. What the fuck? This episode? There's no chance. Ja! Oof. Yeah, we can mind game this whole thing. Stupid idiot. You stupid goof. You still have to figure it out either way. You got no choice. Who? Why have I become such a coward? I don't know, dude. It's hard. Oh, it's that guy. Oh. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Huh? Took a second. Bunkasai Majiku. Uh-oh. An idea. Uh-huh. But it's such a serious thing. Might as well get cuffed. Truly. It really depends on the person. But yeah, I know. No, for sure. Ooh, taking it all as perfect truth. Red, totally read you for Koyasu. Immediately going for Koyasu. Or Tsubame. Tsubame is Koyasu. They're the same person. Yeah, okay. Daga! It changes everything, right? You better ask. Greg, nab that 60%. What the fuck? What is this? Is this prison escape? Oh shit. The cold wind blows. Whoosh, whoosh. How noble will you be, Ishigami? No? Mm. Mm. This is a layer that Kaguya should really be thinking about. Yeah, you could at least be that one underclassman who she rejects. That'd be great. Yeah, that dude who she rejected in high school. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. I'm just being a jerk. This is gorgeous. Yeah, that didn't happen. Better to not be a contingent thing, just to choose to do it. Shut up, go do it. Do it. I believe in you. Yeah, there you go. She doesn't even believe it about herself, but she goes for it. Can you take your own advice, Kaguya? Not a chance. Living vicariously through him, maybe? Can you do the same, Kaguya? Come on, you can give the... And yet I, with all my pride as a Shinomiya, I cannot? Oh, very lovely. Are we here? Is it here? No, we're here. Okay. Just casually giving out hearts without a thought. This is the Shuchin. Here we go. We're in it. Last 2 episodes, I will confess the... Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. There's a movie, man. There's a movie. Who the... What the... Oh. Both of them have made promises to themselves. Both of them are lying. But both of them have made promises to themselves. I didn't know if we were gonna get it. Oh, it's gorgeous. Confessions arc? Soshite nani? Bro, you can't just leave me with a soshite like that. I'm excited. This is actually what I drew. I look. Hey, as a cultural... Welcome to the Shuchi and Gakuen Culture... It's the Culture Fest... you can't see it. There you go. People and the gates and all that. Yeah, okay. I really like the... I like the aesthetics of this episode a lot, and the visual flow all the way through. It's really cool. Pow. Okay. I really like the aesthetic sensibilities of this episode. We start folding in what I think are genuine manga panels, and they're very pretty, and I like that style a lot. It ends up being very wistful, and it makes this, like, timeless quality occur, where some of these scenes, these characters thinking or looking off into the distance end up kind of timeless. Almost like, You'll see these at the end of Osamu Dezaki anime, Dezaki frames. You'll see them at the end of other people's anime too, because they've stolen the idea. It's become part of our language of the medium. But like Dezaki frames, where everything sort of watercolors out at the end, there'll be like a frame at the end of the piece, and it'll all watercolor out and become somewhat somewhat vague, somewhat light and pastel-y or watercolory. That ends up with like a timeless feel to it. And I get the same vibe from these manga pieces that come in, from Tsubame's pieces where she's there and Ishigami's thinking about the lost chance that he's having, to multiple of the pieces of Kaguya sitting there thinking, or Shirogane thinking and standing there or being depicted. It's really, really nice. I really like the way that they look. I think that the episode is chock full of nice looking scenes like that, and poignant, understated moments, which isn't usually Kaguya-sama's forte. Kaguya-sama it's in many ways a comedy show as primary, and so it's about overstating moments more than understating them a lot of the time. It's about making things bombastic and funnier than they are, or goofier than they are, bigger than they are, larger than life. He's got the maximally edgiest outfit, and the maximally craziest backgrounds appear to accent or jokes. So when it takes its time to tone back down and calm back down and let things settle and let things flow a little bit more naturally, there's this distinct juxtaposition between those humorous peaks and those calm valleys, and that produces a bit of a roller coaster as you go up and then down into those calm, and then up into those peaks of hilarity or insanity, or confusion or weirdness, or the characters acting in silly or goofy or awful ways. So that's cool. I like that flow in the episode. I think the actual jokes in the episode, insofar as there are jokes in the episode, are good. This whole sequence is perfect. I know people who dress like this. I know people who are in their 30s who dress like this, and it's always weird to me, and I don't know what to think of it. It does definitely feel like trying to be something else. This is pretty extreme, though. The hair clip, the various two collars, the shirt with the shirt underneath. Whoever invented shirts with shirts that are fake shirts, where the sleeves of your shirt are just sewn into the edges of your t-shirt, and so you don't actually have a long sleeve underneath, just a shirt over top of it, and it's just one shirt that's two shirts sewn together. Whoever invented those needs to be taken to the same place as whoever made women's pants not have pockets in them, and summarily executed. Both of them together. Let their blood run together in the gutters. Let it be. Awful. Just awful. I don't even want to look through... what am I reading? I don't want to read this. Drink me. Oh, it's Alice. It's Alice in Wonderland. How she longed to get and drink me, beautifully printed on it in large letters. Yeah, thought poor Alice. This is Alice in Wonderland. Bam. Didn't take too long. Down, down. Yep, it's all Alice. Don't you have any normal clothes? Like jeans and a shirt, please. No. And we bring in the pops for this purpose. The way that he enters the room is actually really funny to me. Just full deadpan walks in. Kita go. What? I have returned. Oh. No. Yeah, but don't use him as a way to see what normal people wear, because that's not it. Terrible clothing. And then we get this. I thought at first Shirogane was doing this as a joke. I thought Miyuki was doing this as like a guilt-tripping joke sort of thing. But I think he's actually serious about thinking about it this way for his family. Scraping by with old clothes, making sure that his sister can be the one who's fashionable and has all of this enough money to wear nice things. But then at his core, what we get from him is, even I want to wear something nice when I go out. And we see the images of Kaguya behind that as like the reason for it, right? Not, he wants to equal up. He wants to be worthy, honestly. And that flies in the face of this self-sacrificing thing that he's doing. So he's self-sacrificing in a way that's nice for his family, but he's hurting himself more than he is admitting, I think. And I think he's this is always a problem with Miyuki, and it's a core aspect of him, and it ends up being the thing that Kaguya comments on later in the episode, so we talk about it now because it's brought up now, and the two pieces are placed together for a reason, I think. I think very clearly. He's too self-sacrificing. He's too willing to say, my pain is worth less than other people's pain, so I'll take on the pain for myself so that they don't experience it. I'll take on extra work. I'll take on extra burdens. I'll avoid doing things. I'll avoid asking for what I want. I'll avoid even being honest about what I want. I don't need anything. I don't need good clothes. I don't need any of this stuff. It's all for the family. Like, that's what matters more. And you end up with nothing. And it's all sort of untrue. But there is a nobility to it. There really and truly is. And so when we talk about it later, and he's taking on more work for the festival, that's the same impulse. It's the same impulse. It's like, I'll take the burden on for myself. Everybody else has these important things that they need to do. I'll sacrifice my high school situation, my high school life, my seishun, and all of that stuff in order to ensure that it happens for everyone else. It's part and parcel to his character. I mean, even just being in the office of president means that. It means that. Like, when you're a school president, you don't really have that much authority. What you have is responsibility. And so you're saddled with all of this stuff that you have to do, that you have to take care of, that people are relying on you for, in order to manifest the pleasant high school lives of all of the people in your school. But you sacrifice some of that meaningfully when you take on a role like that. And that is Shirogane. That is what he does. And that is what Kaguya will see in his actions later in the episode. And that is, I think, exactly what he's doing right here as well, as he justifies not using the money for nice clothes or whatnot. And his justification is weird. So the statement that's true is, even I want to wear something nice when I go out. I do actually want to look nice when I go out. I don't want to go out dressed in rags or looking like trash or whatever. But even if I want that, once you start getting what you want, you'll never be satisfied. That's so interesting to frame it like that, because it's like he's talking in general principles, but he's talking about himself. He's talking about his own motivations, and like, it's almost like he's afraid of his own inclination. Like, if I were to allow myself to slip even a little bit and take something for myself even a little bit, I'd never be satisfied. I'd want all these other things. I just don't think it's true. I just think fundamentally it's a false assumption. I don't think it's true. I think you can look at it as true, and with some things it's true, especially like an addictive drug. You start getting what you want, you'll never be satisfied. Damn right. But what if you can? Like, what if it's just not true? What if you could get a nice set of clothes, and then you'd have a nice set of clothes, and then you'd be satisfied on the clothing front, and you'd have what you wanted, and you wouldn't become a craving greed monster for more clothing? Like, what if you could just manage it? And maybe the answer is somewhere in the middle, and it's neither this like self-sacrificing asceticism of I need nothing, nor a greedy, takey, like I need everything, but I need what I need, and I can differentiate between my needs and my wants, and I am satisfied. I choose to be. You know, if you can choose to be satisfied with 0, you can probably also choose to be satisfied with like 2 or 4. You don't necessarily see 2 or get 2 and go, I need 8. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't track to me. I think I know what he means. Better to force yourself not to care and to keep your standards low. And this is the sort of ascetic mentality, is like, desire sparks desire. Wants spark wants breed wants. And so only by eliminating desire within yourself entirely, and you do that by casting off all the things, ownership and possessiveness entirely, only by doing those and freeing yourself from material belongings and material things and desire in general, can you be free from them. Yeah, reasonable to say, and I agree with it from a Buddhist perspective. I agree with it, and in my life when I've done it, it has worked. But to steal a bad quote from Percival Franken whatever von Musel de Rollo the Third. Life needs things to live. People need things to live. It's really tough to live a fulfilling life, at least in modern society, while acting as an ascetic or a monk. So I think finding a balance, maybe a minimalist balance, but a balance is a good idea. I see this perspective that Shirogane has as a little bit too self-sacrificing. And again, I think that there is something fundamentally, like, at core noble about that desire to sacrifice. Keep your standards low so that you don't consume so much, you don't use so much, and others have more opportunity. Cool. Also take on a bunch of responsibilities so that others don't have to and they can use their time as they please. Cool. I do think there's something noble about that, but in this case, I think he's using it to justify something that isn't worth it. Where like, it seems like a relatively untrammeled good for Miyuki Shirogane to have a relatively nice set of clothes. It doesn't seem like it's fraught, really. I really like this sequence where we do these like dripping ripple things. It's like a punctuation on the end of this emotional moment. We jump into Miyuki's mind for a moment, and then this punctuates it as we come back out of it. Kei's a girl, so I'd rather she be able to dress fashionably, and in the darkness he stands, I can wear whatever to save money. And then bam, his father breaks through that. You should have told me. I'll give you something nice. And what he gives him is weird. It's weird. This is a weird thing to give him. Very narrative. Like, it's weird. It stands out in a strange way. I really genuinely do feel it feels like, my child, you're going out adventuring, I see. Let me pull out your grandfather's sword and pass it. This magical item will protect you in your travels. It feels like completely out of left field and odd. Why the watch? Everything shut down. I had to sell everything, but I kept the watch. It's a symbol of things before. And it's a symbol of, like, wealth and prosperity. We get the joke. Maybe it's just for the joke of Kei being like, oh, it's so boomer. You know, this very special thing being passed down. But, I don't know. I think there might be something more to it. It's like the Tale of Princess Kaguya thing has to do with the moon. And the moon watch is an expensive piece of his, like, family history that is related to the moon. And the moon is part and parcel of the whole ED and has been for the whole time. And that's, like, that's interesting. I wonder if there's something up with that. Couldn't sell the watch, and so he gives it to him. And gives him a full protagonist speech. I'm a man who's given up on countless endeavors. Like, this is protagonist moment. This watch belongs to one who spits in the face of the impossible and reaches for the moon. Not to me. And so that says something about what his father thinks of him. Someone who spits in the face of the impossible and reaches for the moon, and you are worthy of it. And we see him having reached for the moon in the past, but he says, I've given up on countless endeavors. So, it seems like it's no longer his to wear. I'll take good care of it. Such a boomer thing. All right, we'll go buy new clothes. And we sort of gloss over it, but I think, oh, it's funny. It's very goofy that they don't have any money. But it's very cute that Kei pulls out her own birthday savings and uses that for him. They studied takoyaki makers. Flip, whip, because that's how they do it. I watched a couple of videos of that just a couple days ago. That is what they look like, and it's very cool that they're able to do it the way that they do it. I like watching street food videos. I don't know if anybody else. I'm sure they're so popular that some of you probably do. Like Korean ham egg cheese toast vendors who do the whole setup on like little food carts and stuff. I love watching that shit. I think it's something about watching efficient, capable people, masters of their craft, perform their craft is very compelling. very, very enjoyable. Similarly, Stuff Made Here is a YouTube channel that I've been enjoying watching a couple of videos of recently because he's an interesting engineer who makes odd robot things to do stupid stuff, but the process is very cool and he's very, very articulate and very capable. So it's very impressive to watch it all come together. Anyway, Takoyaki, very cool. Take it. Now get the fuck out. And we see different people have very different perspectives. I think this hair flip has a lot of accent on it, so I want to see it again. It's just a classic little hair flip, but it's lovely. The way that they start to flip away and like get, fall back forward is lovely. I wish I had a brother like him. And we get this little cute moment where she doesn't admit it, but there's she's really proud of the way that other people think of her brother. And then she'll stop and she'll stop them and be like, no, you don't get it. He's the worst, and he does the laundry inside out, and he does all this, and he's always badgering me about stuff and making sure that I'm doing my homework and being a good brother, and how dare he? It's very cute. It's very cute. I like that the thing that I see here is something that I think a lot of us have experienced, which is that you've got a particular relationship with your parents, and you see and your family, the people who you're close to, and so you see all their flaws, and other people see those and they think less of the flaws and more of the benefits, the good parts of the people, and you see less of the good parts and more of the flaws, right? So everybody has a fraught relationship with their parent or with their siblings or whatever, and sees their flaws very clearly and closely because proximity breeds a level of contempt. But others look at that and they're like, wow, you've got such a cool family. They're so nice. Very interesting. I think they nail it here. Different perspectives, different proximity. Very cute. Lots of people falling in love. Okay, the tourist attractions regarding Shinomiya Kaguya Part 2. Mukashi, a long distant tale. A young man's heart burned and fed to the princess by an active and intentional sacrifice, and we zoom on out, and it happened right here. How romantic. And we poof, poof, poof. I like this sequence where we jump out to space. I like that sequence. It builds up the scale of the events that are occurring, which are the biggest thing in the world in Kaguya's mind, right? They're really small in reality. They're one pair out of 8 billion people falling in love. Like, happens all the time. Not that interesting. But in Kaguya's mind, in our character's mind, even in our mind, they're galactic in scale. And so I like that. That's what it does for me. That's a good slogan. That's why it's called that. We chop it in. So ridiculous. So silly. Oh, but it's pure and romantic. Yeah, whatever. Too realistic. But if you gift someone a heart during the festival, you'll be bound by an Her eyes go all shoujo-y and sparkly. And believing. There they are. That's where they go all sparkly. Perfect. So romantic. Yeah, and a girl confessed to my brother, and they got married, so it's undeniable proof that it works. Or it's undeniable proof that people in general sometimes confess to each other and get married. And if you do it with a heart, that might work sometimes, and it might not sometimes. But it really works. 100% guaranteed. It's going to work every time. Yeah, of course, Kaguya. So she holds on to the little heart as a sample. No time to set up an elaborate plan. I love this, because I thought she was actually falling into it. She is later, but having the president gift me one of these will be no easy feat, surely. She's overcome by the romanticism of it, but still a manipulative monster. I'll have to get him to gift them, but maybe it should be me. No. But the bond. We get this internal speech of silliness as she argues with herself upon a stage, and then observes the same argument from the audience. The pie is ridiculous, but observes the same argument from the audience. The framing of this is really quite lovely. It reminds me of Review Starlight, and it reminds me of like the mini Kaguyas who are all arguing inside of her head a little bit. It's like Kaguya watching Kaguya argue with Kaguya. She's so self-aware that it becomes recursive. It's over and over and over. And it's a confused loop. Why does this bring me to such desperation? Why do I tremble so? Look at these manga panels. This first one that's so crushed into a corner. This is just lovely. I think this is just lovely. Crushed into a corner, just like the character feels. Overwhelmed, surrounded, crunched down, and she's still crushed by the circumstance, by the scene. What a big pile of documents you have. But you're already kapu over. You're already so exhausted. Well, if I prepare what I can beforehand, it'll give the committee some breathing room. And maybe they'll get to enjoy it themselves. So I'm going to make sure that they can get that opportunity. And we see just absolute, undeniable charm. Again, playing with the aspect ratio so much. These are just gorgeous. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. The screen tones are lovely. The aesthetic is beautiful. Everybody's working oh so hard. All I want is one single step forward. Fade to ask for the ridiculous, and then an admission. You're just going to come up with some excuse why you don't. Boom, I love him. She just says it straight out. Why? Why do I feel like this? And we even get interesting. Completely shatters the concept of the show. Yeah. And a good thing too. For Kaguya, the word love itself was inimical to her pride. I like this line a lot. I like this line a lot because I think it's correct. I think it's correct. That love and pride are somewhat mutually exclusive, at least in one formulation of the idea of pride. Love is an active state, and it's an active state of self-sacrifice, I think. In some sense, you give up some freedom. You give up some control over your own emotions. You give up a lot of things. And you give them up even more if you admit that it's happening to you, as Kaguya does here. Because then you say, I'm in the grip of something that's bigger than me, in some real sense. And when you give something up like that, like, you can't be proud and isolated and self-centered. It doesn't, those things and love don't go together. So one has to go. And I don't think it's going to be the love. We focus on the moon. But accompanying this faint feeling of defeat was a great weight being lifted from her shoulders. It's hard to be proud. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot to carry. Especially in a haughty sort of way. It's probably much nicer in feeling to let that slip and to give oneself over to someone else. Or even to give oneself over to a feeling that you don't necessarily have control over. To let it overwhelm. To let go. This is really cool. This is really cool. And I look up at the same moon. Ha! we show still pushing in that direction, still moving in that direction. The big moon looms above. And our characters together make their way to the early morning of the festival. Get all set up and ready. Is protecting your pride really worth the constant suffering, or will you finally act? Come to think of it, why haven't I confessed already? What's even the issue here? It's not like... Wait a second. Shattered. And we switch it to Kaguya-sama wants to confess. It couldn't be simpler. It'll just happen. But what about rejection? Boom. Can't even handle it. And we get the weirdest weird. Super weird. But it's possible. It's possible. It could happen. And then it would be so brutal. This is gorgeous. Again, crushed. Overwhelmed. At the center of things. It's a great depiction of emotion. I wish I was one chapter. I wish I was one chapter further in this book, because there's the next chapter, not the one that I read this morning, but the next chapter is about depicting emotions. No! There's no way it could be me, but... Now, where do they find that courage? And I love this whole thing, because it's a juxtaposition to me. Our characters are so wrapped up in the drama of romance and oh my god, who's gonna confess to who? Oh my god, the gossip of it, the dramatic stakes that are present. And these other two characters are like, yeah, we're just sort of casually dating, trying it out. He asked me, I was like, yeah, why not? Might as well try it. And there's just no, that drama isn't there. That fear and that emphasis and that insanity isn't there. And it's just a different way of going about it. And it shows that a lot of what our characters go through is like invented and kind of ridiculous and kind of silly. Because it's probably much healthier to go about things in a way like this, where romance isn't like, it's a normal part of life. And dating is like a normal part of life, and it's not the most pivotal event in your entire experience to ask a person out for the first time. It's like a thing that you do occasionally, and sometimes it happens, and maybe it works, and you try it. But that's not how our characters treat it. So that ends up being a cool contrast, I think. Because it sort of points out how absurd it is that Kaguya hasn't said anything to Miyuki, and Miyuki hasn't said anything to Kaguya. Like, they've wasted so much time, is one way to frame it. Like, they could have had a high school romance together. Right? Like, they could be dating throughout high school, and that might be really great for them. And it's not happening for them at all, because both of them are cowards and have all this pride and justification, all that other stuff. But for whatever reason it is, the joy and benefits that they might get out of actually being together, they don't get. They don't get to have those because of whatever's stopping them. So this points out the flaw really nicely. Well, we would sometimes chat occasionally, and so he asked, and it would happen. And this also introduces festival fever, another magical thing that will definitely lead to Kaguya and the president coming together. I do think they will end up coming together over this festival, but this just gets Kaguya's hopes up another way. Another way. From a purely logical standpoint, a man is necessary, no? Well, I don't know. Some people would disagree, but bam, good luck, Ishigami. And he's got his eyes on a prize now. My favorite thing okay, so this is definitely from the carve a hole behind the poster, escape through the hole, climb through the thing, beat freedom, and yay. And then there's a boat. Shit, what movie is that? It's Tom Hanks, I think. Dig hole out of prison movie. Shawshank Redemption. That's the one. That's the one. This is Shawshank Redemption, right? Or something like it. Am I wrong? Is it something else? Is it Double Jeopardy? I don't know. I don't totally know, but I think it's Shawshank. He's just yelling completely. But I do understand why you'd be rejoicing. She sees right through. And we get this cold breeze. I like the way that they whoosh between these characters. very anime-y, very stylized, and very cute. You'll be likely successful. But it's not about being short-sighted. It's about running out of time. She'll be graduating. Everything will be over. I have to make sure that she remembers. And Kaguya starts to push him to it. I love that she jumps in to stop him from getting depressive and down on himself. But I really think it's much funnier the way that she nails exactly what people do when they want to do something but they're afraid to. They'll push other people to do it instead. It's like, oh, you should totally go dance in the middle of the dance circle. Go, go, go. Oh, you should totally go bungee jumping. Please go first. Please go first. And it ends up being just right. But it still does give him a bit of confidence, and I really hope that Ishigami does ask. But that sheds an interesting light on Kaguya. He found the courage, and yet you can't? A Shinomiya? You, the great Kaguya Shinomiya, can't do something that Ishigami is capable of? No chance. No chance. You'd better. Yeah, in that case, I should. And we're in it, and we're in it, and we're here, and he's got the same idea, and we put some emphasis on the water, and it's lovely, it's lovely. We're here at the festival, he says an ultimatum, she says an ultimatum, countless memories incoming, and the festival kicks off. Boom, let it begin. Love is truly war in the middle of a cultural festival. And we're ready. We're ready to go into battle, baby. Was there a Two Confessions arc? And there was no victory thing, was there? Huh. I don't think that there was a... I don't remember there being a blank, 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 blank loses. Blank, 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 blank wins. Alright, well, I don't get to put a sticker up today then, I think. I think that's the move. There were no victories and no defeats. I love that we've got some ultimatums. I love that we've built this festival up for a little bit, so that it feels climactic. It feels like something is really going to go down here. Oh, man, there are more episodes. There are a bunch more episodes in the season, though. There are 5 more episodes in the season. And a movie? The movie is separate from that, right? Okay, cool. Cool, great. Kaguya-sama wants to confess was the coolest thing to see come up on screen. That's great. I love it. This is an exciting episode. Very, very much building the thing up. And I really do like the aesthetics and the feel of the episode. It shies away from those punchy jokes, and more toward effective romantic interpersonal storytelling, and it's impressive to be able to demonstrate that kind of a range. I'm going to wrap there. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Kaguya. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed our preparations for the festival, and I hope you're as excited as I am to get into it and see how the weird romances between these characters play out. I wouldn't be surprised if the Kaguya, the prime romance, holds back a little bit for the film, and maybe we could have the Ishigami romance come to be the main, finality of the arc for the thing. It is the Two Confessions arc, and that's quite interesting because we do have 2 potential confessions going on, at least. So that's very exciting. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week for more Kaguya. If you enjoyed this episode or you want to grab next week's episode a little bit early, that'll be linked in the description via the Patreon. Thank you so much. I love having this channel and being able to watch these fun shows and just talk about the cool things that happen in them. So I appreciate your viewership. And if you have any thoughts or comments about the elements of this episode, I'd love it if you'd write those down in the comments place, the description, the comments place down below. Appreciate you. Much love. And I'll see you next week for more Kaguya-sama. Peace.